talked down to by members of Congress on the left in Washington, D.C.
So here's the deal. You know you're a racist when you ask why we want people from or you tell people to go back to their country. You know you're a racist when you retweet white supremacists defending you like Katie Hopkins. Mm-hmm. You know you're a racist when a photo of Hillary next to a Jewish star and you retweet a picture of Hillary next to a Jewish star and a pile of money. You know you're a racist when you complain casino owners who get tax breaks don't look like Indians. You got some issues, and Stephen Miller, you are the poster boy for all of this. You put all of this together. And as, you know, people will come up and tell you they feel what you're saying is racist because they don't want to be spoken to like that. See, they don't want to be spoken to like that. So I just want to say, you know, this is not a left-right, because I'm pretty sure even Black Republicans recognize racism when they hear it, okay? And they will call you out if they feel it. So don't make it about the left. Make it about what you are saying and the things you have said. I'm sorry. It just really pissed me off. And stop apologizing for this. Mm-hmm. You know, this is what you said. This is what you set out. You started this whole conversation with Mexicans are rapists and murderers.
Right. Well, they also say that Omar doesn't love America. He said that. I mean, this is President Bone Spurs. Does he love America? You know, does somebody who praises murderers and autocrats and dictators around the world and goes against the CIA, does he love America? You know, and by the way, send Stephen Miller back to Transylvania. He's a scary dude, this one.
I think the problem that
I hope that interview was at night when he could come out.
I think the biggest issue that I have is that this president seems to be most concerned when people criticize the United States' policies and says that they must not love America because they are criticizing the United States. And I think Thomas Jefferson made it very clear that dissent is the highest form of patriotism. That is what our very country was founded upon. And I think James Baldwin said it best. He said, "I love America more than any other country in the world. And exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually." And that is what you see these women doing. They're trying to create a more perfect union. And so they're criticizing the policies. They're saying that we don't have that perfect union yet. And so we may want better health care. We may want justice for all. We may want to try to eradicate racism. But Trump is saying because they're criticizing this country.
He's the one who wanted to make America great again. So that was the major criticism.
Yes, America isn't great enough yet.
Well, I mean, I think the politics of this is fascinating. We spent our entire week last week talking about how racist and xenophobic the original comments were and the chants were, and I stand by that statement. I will say AOC's chief of staff tweeted he compared moderate Democrats currently serving in the House to segregationists, and he said that they were, quote, enabling a racist system.
Who said this?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's chief of staff.
Oh, my God. Come to the view, man. We want to talk to you.
But I will say what's fascinating is I compared it to fratricide, because I do think there is this deep infighting within the Democratic Party between people, not just the squad, because there are more members of the Democratic Party that, you know, have the same similar views that the squad has, and more moderate Democrats. And I also think when Rashida Tlaib goes on CBS this morning and she says to Nancy Pelosi, acknowledge the fact that we are women of color. So when you single us out, be aware of that and what you're doing, especially because some of us are getting death threats. And I still think the debate between the squad and Nancy Pelosi and more moderate Democrats is the one that Trump wants. I agree with you.
But you know what?
Because just let me say, because as long as they are the face of the Democratic Party, which I know there are people in here that are probably fans of theirs, but there are a lot of moderate Democrats in the country that maybe aren't on board with some of the radical things that they have said. He needs someone to fight with. And he needs an enemy. And right now, they antithesize everything that... I just want to make a point about the fact that the infighting, in a way, is what we're talking about. It's like a purging of differences and get it out there. The Republican Party, in my opinion, could use a little of that, where they go against each other instead of falling in lockstep behind But I do know that it's important to you to win elections, and what won't win elections is if you're talking about moderate Democrats. But if you're comparing moderate Democrats to segregationists and enabling a racist system, moderate Democrats, that's very incendiary language.
Well, again, that is somebody...
Democratic Party.
Listen.
No, but what I'm trying to say is Trump is trying to make them the face for this reason.
That's my point. That's my point.
Trying to make them the face of it, but they're not the face of it.
So the bottom line...
Hugely powerful. There are hot topics.
Yes, we can get as loud as we want to. I still have to go to break.
But there are
We'll be back
every day.